Hey everyone, it's Julie Tolick, your gun girl and gun lawyer from Metro West Boston, Framingham, Massachusetts. I am parked outside the Cambridge Middlesex Courthouse, waiting for a hearing at 8:30 in the morning. The hearing is at 8:30. It's about 7 right now. I got here at 6:30 because I live in the burbs, so I had to leave like a year early to beat traffic. So as I was sitting here waiting, I figured I would talk to you guys about Massachusetts LTC license to carry restrictions and what those are and what you can do about them. So in Massachusetts, when you apply for your LTC, the licensing authority, which is your local police department, has the discretion to apply a restriction to your license. Now, most people want an unrestricted license, which means you can carry anywhere. Well, anywhere according to the statute, like you can't carry on school grounds and stuff like that. But basically, unrestricted means you can conceal carry on your person anytime you're going anywhere other than those prohibited places, which we can get into in another video. So typically the licensing authority has discretion to put restrictions on your license. The types of restrictions are not specifically defined in the statute. However, the LTC application lists a couple different restrictions. There's a question where you check a box to indicate what kind of license you're applying for. And the options are unrestricted, which is what everybody wants, of course. And the restricted options are hunting and target, sporting, or employment. So there's 4 check boxes and you check one of them and then you give a little bit more detail, and then there's like a blank on the bottom. The classic terminology to give in the detail says all lawful purposes. When I do applications with clients, I like to be a little bit more wordy than that because all lawful purposes is the standard. Those are the 3 magic words that people think they need to write on an application, and they're the 3 words that law enforcement see all the time. So I kind of like to add a little bit more to that to show that people have put some thought into their application. But anyway, so the unrestricted is obviously unrestricted. Like I said, you can carry anywhere under the statute other than the places you cannot carry, which are school grounds, federal courthouses, etc. The sporting restriction and the hunting and target restriction are similar, but they're different. So target and hunting is one restriction, and that means that you can only carry to and from where you are going to hunt, the location, or if you're going out hunting, you can only carry to and from that hunting trip. Or target shooting, so if you're shooting at a range or if you're shooting outside, that means target shooting carry. So you can carry concealed if you are going to and from a range to go target shooting, or if you're going to and from a hunting excursion or experience. One of the other ones is sporting. Now, sporting is similar to target and hunting, but it can include, again, it depends on the town. So you want to clarify, if you have a restriction, you want to clarify with your town. I had a phone call interrupt me. I was talking about restrictions. So target and hunting, I discussed already. Sporting restriction is similar to target and hunting, but sporting includes stuff like camping. And again, the town licensing authority has discretion to kind of define the parameters of these restrictions. There is no definition in the statute as to what they are, or how they're defined, what they should be, what they include. So make sure you ask your chief or the firearms detectives and lieutenants and the guys that work on the licensing at your local police department where you're applying, if you have any questions about what is included in your restriction. So anyway, sporting includes camping, target and hunting is to and from target and hunting, and then there's employment. And employment is essentially you are restricted to carry only while you are on the job, on the clock. So if you have a job where you need to be armed, typically you would have a letter from your employer on letterhead that would accompany your application that states why you need to have a license for your employment, why you need to be able to carry while you're on the job. And that would be an employment restriction. So hopefully that answers some questions about the pseudo definitions of restrictions, even though there's no specific definitions in the statute. Now, if you have a restriction, if you're granted a license with a restriction, you can now appeal a restriction in the district court within, actually you can appeal a restriction at any time after the restriction's been put on your license. So in the past, before January of 2015, there was no official way really to appeal a restriction. I mean, you could do it. Usually I start my appeal process by contacting the police department and basically starting a discussion about it before I file anything in court. But now the statute does give specific authority to be able to go to the district court and appeal your restriction just like you would appeal a denial, but you can appeal the restriction at any time. So you don't have to do it within a certain amount of time after you get your license. With appeals, you have 90 days to appeal. With denials, you have 90 days to appeal your denial, but with restrictions, you can appeal a restriction at any time. And in my experience, typically, depending on why there's a restriction, sometimes it can be resolved without going to court. It just takes some conversation with the police department and some more paperwork, and asking some questions and seeing, why exactly they put the restriction on your license. So that's all I have for today about restrictions. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions to set up a consultation. You can email me at julie@thinkpinklaw.com. My website is Think Pink Law. You can find me online. If you just Google Think Pink Law and firearms, you will find me. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care, stay safe. Thanks for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with everybody you know to get the word out. And I still have an hour before I have to go to court, so I am going to do some other work while I wait. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.